Am I live? Hopefully I am. Oh, shoot. Either way, welcome back to Pills, Potions, and Poisons with me in NAllenRx. I'm a pharmacist. But I'm not here in a professional capacity. However, I do have expert level knowledge and information that I can share with you guys. And today, what I'm going to be sharing with you guys, we're going to be watching some more of the trial of one of my colleagues. Hey! Early morning, yes. I know, right? Welcome, lead attorney, to Pills, Potions, and Poisons with me in NAllenRx. Shout out to the lead attorney. Let me see if I can get this thing pulled up. So right now, I think they're on a break. So hopefully I came in at a good time. And we can kind of recap a little bit of what's been going on this morning. And, uh-oh, is my mouse dead? That's how you know, man. Okay, so let me see if I can share the screen. Okay, here we go. And then, oh wait, do this first. So we're talking about Natalie Cochran. She's in West Virginia, Mountain Country. What is it? It's known as the Mountain State. Have I ever been to West Virginia? I've been through there, back in the day when we used to ride buses everywhere, When where was I at? Oh shoot, I don't want to share it yet. When when we used to, when I was going to places like with my church and stuff growing up. All right, so let me share this, add this to the stage. All right, thank you, lead attorney. Hopefully you can hear me and see me. So right now the trial is on a break, guys. We on Law and Crime. And I think I got Court TV somewhere else up here too. So for now, let's do a recap. So what's going on with this trial? It's evidently it's the result of a Ponzi scheme gone wrong. This couple, Michael and Natalie Cochran, they're in West Virginia, some town in West Virginia. I don't know. I don't know this place. I don't even know. I used to know the capital of West Virginia. I wouldn't know stuff like that. Maybe I'll add that to y'all 5th grade lesson that I do every stream. I don't know. But for now, we'll just stick with what the state is known as, the nicknames of the states. We'll eventually add the capitals as we move along during the streams. Okay, so they're in West Virginia. This couple, they've been married for 19 years. They're about 38. So at the time of Michael's death, who's the husband, he tragically lost his life at some point during, the first trial of the Ponzi scheme, which it would have been nice if we would have had some footage of the Ponzi scheme string. That would have been nice if we would have had that, but we don't. So anyway, Natalie and Michael. Natalie is a pharmacist. Michael is still, in my opinion, his profession is unknown. But at some point, when they started the Ponzi scheme, they allegedly were contractors, I guess, selling weapons. Is it too early to be talking like that? I'm usually pharmacy after dark. Y'all know that. So I don't know how to talk during the daytime on here. It got to be early morning. This is before lunch. I mean, I'm a morning person. I'm usually up and out around this time. But today, I told you I was going to come back. Y'all didn't think I was coming back. I didn't think I was coming back either. But I'm going to be off the whole day today. I was supposed to be going in to work this evening from 12 to 8. But since we're expecting some inclement weather. Oh, y'all can see me. We're supposed to be getting some bad weather. I don't know. They're letting these kids out of school, so they're at home. So I gotta be at home too, my life at this point. I mean, I'm glad to be off today. So I said, you know what? Why not? I might as well jump on here, engage with my people. Let's talk about this trial. So anyway, Natalie and Michael, They got 2 kids. They've been together since they were teenagers. They've been married almost 20 years at this point. So Natalie and Michael, they say Natalie was a mastermind. I'm kind of leaning more towards she was the mastermind behind the Ponzi scheme situation. And Michael was just along for the ride. They got investors, right? How these Ponzi scheme go. It's like they got money, they get money from these people, and then they get money from everybody, taking money in. They never put any money out. And if somebody kind of catch on to what's going on with the money, they might give them a little bit of payout from money that they get from other people. So they had a lot of investors. They had the family members. They had Michael and Michael's parents. They had Natalie's parents. They had the friends who also had, good jobs. Everybody giving tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars into this business that Natalie and Michael are running. Okay, sound like a small town situation, but you know how it is. Y'all know. They trust you. They be trusting, they be trusting you. So they trusted Michael and Natalie to, flip the money for them. It already sounds crazy. Like how they got in touch with, how they selling weapons and stuff. How they doing that? Where they get the money from? Where they get the weapons from? This sounds like some kind of shady business. If you ask me, I don't know what y'all think about that. So Natalie and Michael. Okay, so somebody, big brother, the feds, I don't know, starts to catch on like, hey, no, this is what they said. People started wanting to get paid out. They see Natalie and Michael spending up all this money. I told y'all, Michael want all the toys. Michael got some kind of vintage Mustang. Michael got motorcycles. Michael got dirt bikes. They got airplane hangars. I don't know if they had planes or not, but they definitely had the hangars that they were remodeling for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe they was going to get a whole fleet of those things. They taking the whole family to Paris. When they say they're taking the whole family, I'm thinking not just the immediate family, Michael and Natalie and the kids. They taking grandma and grandpa. And they taking auntie and uncle and cousins. Everybody's going to Paris. Michael's parents say, Michael, you and Natalie sure are spending a lot of money over there. Michael like, yeah, we balling, we got it. Y'all know how we do. I guess they was living high off the hog, in the beginning off of whatever little IT stuff. I don't know if it was IT, but whatever Michael was doing that we still don't know. And Natalie's 6-figure pharmacist salary. I don't know. It ain't, it's 6 figures. You can be like 101 in 6 figures, or you could be 999,000. It's 6 figures as well. So, but it's a difference. Y'all know, shoot, it's a difference in 101 and 999. But we're gonna say 6 figures. But they weren't spending like this, buying $1 million properties, doing things like that. Natalie's Michael's mom and daddy, they like, what's going on? Where we gonna get our money? Because your dad and I, we invested all of our money, everything we had, Michael, and you guys are just spending. They're like, well, I don't know. Let me check, Mom. I don't know what Natalie's doing. I don't know what Natalie's doing. That's how they said it went down. I don't know. I think Michael knew the whole time. Right now, Natalie has already been convicted of, she's doing 11 years, I think, something like that, for the Ponzi scheme situation. And now they got on trial because somehow something happened to Michael. What's Natalie's defense against Michael? They're saying Michael, well, allegedly, the state is presenting the case that Natalie poisoned Michael with insulin, an insulin overdose. Because she's a diabetes specialist and as a pharmacist. You can do a residency, you can get a specialty. I don't have no specialty. I can act like I'm kind of doing immunization and vaccine. But anyway, I'm gonna get back into that. So yeah, so they think that she poisoned them with insulin, right? Insulin overdose. I don't know how they putting it. But Natalie, they're saying, her defense is saying, look, Michael was on steroids. Michael was ordering drugs offline. Michael was into his physique, and he was like trying to, what Arnold Schwarzenegger used to be like, we're gonna pump you up. Mike was out here trying to get, he wanted to have a hot boy summer. They say Michael always cared about his appearance. Don't we all to an extent? I mean, don't we all? That's why they got this Manjaro and all this stuff going hot. It's still hot. Y'all think it's not, but it is. So, I mean, Michael cared about his appearance by any means necessary. So, Michael would order drugs offline, like some of y'all be doing. I don't trust it. Michael would get, drugs from, other countries. At this point, it's like, should we name them? Allegedly. They saying, Mexico. I don't know. I be telling y'all, they don't regulate their drugs and, they don't have all of this, manufacturing practices and laws that they have to abide by like we do. Y'all hate healthcare in America, but I mean, it's like, what is all these rules? What is all these rules? It's like, because if you take something that I dispense to you, or, that comes from wherever, manufacturing company, and something happens to you, you need to have somebody you can blame, right? Don't you want to have somebody that's going to be responsible? It kind of makes me think about too, though. Well, these drugs are not regulated, but like, when they get that fentanyl off the street and all these other counterfeit drugs, or even something like, crack, cocaine, if whatever you buy from your street dealer, your druggist, on the streets, you can't have a reasonable expectation that that's, not laced with anything extra. You can't, but it's like, you want somebody to be responsible, right? You don't want to just be out here dying all, without like, oh no, I'm trying to figure out, do y'all think that the dealers should be blamed for these drugs? Or like, if you die? Do y'all think that? I'm still on the fence. Should the dealer be blamed? I'm still trying to say, would it be an overdose or would it be a poisoning? I'm still trying to decide how I feel about that. Because if I order, through Snapchat, as they say you can do, some pills, and I take them and I pass away. Well, if you do that, I ain't gonna be speaking death on myself. I need to live a little bit longer. In my family, we live a long time anyway. We just gonna live at least 80 years. We get at least 80. What's 4 and 10? Is it what is it? What is a score? 20. Anyway, we're gonna live a long time, so I ain't worried about that. But anyway, if you order some drugs, you think it's, you think you're getting some Oxycontin, and turns out it's fentanyl, then what? And they're like, hey, these pills strong. They warn you, because that happens a lot of times. And then you take it anyway, then you pass away. Then your family up here trying to blame the drug dealer when you was like, you solicited these drugs, you paid for them, you wanted them. Is it their fault that, your body didn't have a tolerance for drug, dosages so high? Is it their fault, the dealer? They're just doing their job, right? But you want to have somebody to blame. We get it, and you lose your daughter, your son, your aunt, your daddy, whoever, your uncle, whoever. You like, it's their fault. But it's like, is it? It's where accountability comes in here as well. You did order these drugs. You did want them. So Michael was taking drugs. He was taking drugs. So if something happened to him as a result of taking these drugs, then is it Natalie's fault? That's what the defense is saying. So far, they have had a lot of people testify. Who? We have had, some of the friends and neighbors that were there at the house the day that Michael, where is my phone at? The day that Michael, yeah, I told y'all I was traumatized from that infusion place calling me. I gotta get y'all update on that. Y'all think it ain't gonna be no update? Because it is. It's always update on that. Man, them people still trying to call me. I got so mad yesterday. This is a, sidebar. But this is a part of the story. Y'all know that. I'm at work yesterday, minding my own business again. I called him back. After I talked to y'all the other night and I was on here, I was like, I'm gonna call them back. Because I don't want them calling me. Who is this calling me now? Put y'all on pause. Okay, so yeah, I be scared to answer my phone. I told him, I said, "Look, y'all, I'm not, I'm not coming there. Quit calling me looking for me like that. Y'all don't know y'all like that." Okay, anyway, look like they carried back on court. So I'ma share that. But before I do that, let me jump into the chat, y'all. Hey, I'm excited to see y'all this morning. Wait, did I didn't can y'all hear me right now? Because I be muted and don't know it. Okay, regulators, what we doing? Bout up. We got the lead attorney. I already spoke to the lead attorney. Hey, lead attorney. Hey, lead attorney. Welcome back to Pure Social Reports with me and NAllenRx. He says early morning surprise, surprise, surprise. You know, we like that morning stuff. Okay, he said it was supposed to snow today here in Georgia too. They say it's gonna snow. It's kind of cold, but I don't know. I guess they gotta be better safe than sorry. So they'll let them children stay at home today. So through the fire podcast, hey, good morning. Member of the healthcare team, soon to be PA, you know, you better be studying. You know, I don't know if you've been a long time, you've been out of school, you be trying to go back, it'd be like, oh, Lord have mercy. I can't even say, well, you might want, I ain't gonna tell you, you might need to get on some, you know, because I be sleepy at nighttime. I get sleepy. Now that I, you know, calm down a little bit off of whatever trauma I've been suffering through, I've been sleeping like everybody. 8 o'clock, I be sleeping. Okay, so I'm catching up on rest that I probably ain't got in years. So anyway, good morning. And MVP, surprise! What? Top of the morning, you know, all my people be coming out in the morning time. Maybe I should try to come on here earlier, a little bit more often. Okay, y'all. Okay. LVP also says they spending all that bread. They the modern day Oprah and Stedman, balling out of control. Okay. Then they talk about Michael didn't know. You've been married to somebody for 19 years. You pretty much, you know them. You halfway raised them. I'm just gonna say it. The attorney say, if I get on that TRT, the testosterone in me. You get on that TRT? All right, Lee. The damn man says, what time is it? I'm a morning person. Y'all might not know this about me because I always get on stream late, but I be up. I be up in the morning. Sometimes the dealers don't be knowing. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. They like, damn, they got me out here selling fentanyl, and I'm thinking I'm giving these people perk 30s. I'm losing it. Okay? Almond eyes, cat eyes, you know? Almond eyes. Like, what's the difference between an almond eye and a cat eye? Is the almond more oval? What kind of eyes you think I got? They mysterious for sure. I hope so. That's how I like them. Man, I miss them days. Pharmacy rants. Oh man, I be like, you know, MVP. No, I be like, you need to go back and watch my streams because I've been on a rant about this iron. Yeah, I be like, they like, what's going on? I'm still mad. I'm not done with this yet. I ain't done with it yet. I ain't gonna be happy. I'm not satisfied with, you know, the results because they still think they can call me. They call my doctor. Why do you think the people doing it? I be like talking and asking questions, and I answer myself, and I just be like, "Oh, y'all don't worry with her right now. She in her head, okay?" Nina Simone, she says, "Good morning, morning." Yeah. All right, y'all. Welcome to the chat, Ian Gray. Nina Simone, you know, I'll be no, yeah, I'm just telling y'all, some of these people on my research team, they the same person, okay? They be like Ian Gray, us or US, and then they be like Nina Simone. Sun in the sky. Okay, so let's add this to the stage. Let's see what they at. Right now they got the doctors, the experts on the stand. The first person that they have had to testify today is some doctor. She's an endocrinologist, which means she's like a hormone, diabetes, like all that kind of stuff specialist. So she's from Florida though. So they sent her his file, like what happened. So the questions that they are asking again are irrelevant questions to this particular witness. Is it just me? I'm like, why certain questions they asking? This person is not an expert in that. So why are you asking them there?
Now I'd like to turn to
Okay, so
defendants.
Wait, let me go. Did we miss anything?
Okay. Was that?
Oh, okay. Let's go back. Natalie look like
Please
she on some
find out
BS.
more about that matter shortly, and you can follow along in terms of the testimony. Please continue, Mr. Selden.
Thank you, Your Honor. Before we get to defendant's exhibit
Let me know if
number
y'all
10,
can hear it
I'd
and
like the
see it.
jury just to set that aside for a moment. I have a couple of questions before we get into it.
Go ahead.
Now, Dr. Krieger, it's been alleged that Michael Cochran took a variety of supplements, substances, or other undeclared medications. And because they've been undeclared, you don't have any idea what he was taking or what effect it had on his body.
And y'all let me know y'all opinions in the chat. Get in this chat. Get in here. Get in here. We want to be highly opinionated over here. Let us know what side you take. Do you think that a couple that's been married for 19 years, do you think some little Ponzi scheme, not knowing about the money situation would cause the wife to murder the husband? It'd be money situations, but Michael was enjoying the money. I feel like they was having fun together with all the money they was stealing from his family and everybody else. Let me know if y'all think that this is what. Do y'all think that this is a good motive? I'm not sold. Not yet. I'm like, they've been married for 19 years. Do y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all think Michael knew what was going on with the money? Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you think he did not. He didn't know. He knew. He didn't know. I think he knew. Okay, let's go.
Wouldn't that be a fair question?
Yeah.
Okay. You said that you reviewed one autopsy report. Was that right?
Yes, prior to my writing of my 2023 report, yes.
Okay. Was that Dr. Kubitschek's report? He's the medical examiner for West Virginia. Is that the report you reviewed? Yes.
Yes.
Did you note in his conclusions that he said the cause of death and the manner of death was undetermined? Did you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'd like to turn to defendant's exhibit number 10, which the jury has copies of. And you have a copy of that as well, Dr. Krieger, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now at the top, it says with a double asterisk, alleged event is approximately 12 p.m. on February 6, 2019. What that is referring to is that there's an approximation of what time Natalie Cochran, if at any time, she injected Michael Cochran with insulin. That's all that means. And we don't have an exact time. It just says approximate time, 12 p.m. Do you note that at the top?
I see that.
Okay. Because there is no actual witness to Natalie Cochran injecting Michael Cochran on February the 6th of 2019 with anything. We don't have a witness who's going to state that. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, also at the top, there is a note that says hypoglycemia is sugar, meaning blood sugar, less than 70 milligrams per deciliter in a person without diabetes. That's up for debate. You said under 55, I believe. Is that right?
That's right. The reason I said that is that when we do testing.
I don't need you to go into any detail. I'm just clarifying what your statement was. Okay? Thank you.
Sassy.
Now, this is a chart that has the date and time of testing for blood glucose in Michael Cochran. First column is the date and the time, and unfortunately it's military time, but I'll go through that. The second column is the blood glucose level. The third column is the hours since the alleged event. Again, the alleged event is suspected injection of Michael Cochran with insulin. And the fourth column is, it says, was Lispro active in his body? Lispro is the Humalog insulin alleged to be the subject of all of this controversy. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. And I hope it's clear to the jury. I'll move on. The first entry is February 6th, 2019, the date when Michael Cochran was first admitted to the hospital. And it says 2020, which is 8:20 p.m. Do you note that?
Yes.
Okay. The second column says that his blood glucose level was 21. Now, you've made a lot of comments about that. That's extremely low by anybody's calculation, right?
Yes.
Okay. The third column says that the time frame of the taking of that level is 8 hours and 20 minutes after the time Michael was supposed to be injected. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Is it your testimony that the insulin, Humalog, Lispro, insulin, alleged in the case, could still be active in Michael's body 8 hours and 20 minutes after alleged injection?
It's possible if a very high dose was used or if additional doses were given.
I'm talking about a singular injection of Humalog insulin. Would a singular injection, no matter the quantity, the volume, still be active and causing effects in Michael Cochran's body 8 hours and 20 minutes after injection?
See, the way, okay, so this guy, he's doing better with these questions, but you can't be like, no matter the amount of the, of the dose, that matters. You just be like, one dose. You can't say it doesn't matter how much of the dose, This is not a fair question. And if he can pin her down and be like, yes or no, he can't. That's not a yes or no question. If he can get her to say yes or no, he's doing good.
The quantity and volume does matter.
See? It matters.
Is it your testimony that the Humalog insulin could still be active in Michael Cochran's body 8 hours and 20 minutes later. Irregardless of the volume,
We
I'm
can't.
talking about a single injection. Is that your testimony?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
How's that? That's not her testimony.
Second column,
Well,
dated February 7th, 2019.
she could say yes, but it still needs like to be clarified, like depending on how much. Anyway,
That's the next day after Michael's in the hospital. It's 23, which is 12:23 a.m. The blood glucose level isn't available. The third column says 12 hours and 23 minutes after alleged injection of a single dose. Is it your testimony that Lispro Humalog insulin can still be active in Michael Cochran's body?
Well, there's no additional hypoglycemia except a finger stick further down in the list. So
I'm just asking you, is it your testimony? And I don't care about the blood glucose.
see, LVP, you I'm gonna let it play, but this is it right here, and you don't necessarily have to be in healthcare, but you need to understand, or maybe he does understand. He's just putting on a show because I feel like, they be giving mafia vibes, him and Godfather, that's the other attorney, whatever. Don't be saying like, oh, why is she saying that? I'm going to say what I want to say now. I don't care. Now I ain't give them nicknames. I might say whatever, but it's like, does he know what the answer is? And does he know that matters? He's just like gonna be like forcefully like, look, I don't care, irregardless of what the volume is. Yes or no? When they say it like that, it's like, okay, yeah, but you don't want to look like you're combative. It's kind of tricky because it's like he could know, or he could not know. He just still like, look, this is what I said. He has no problem saying, that's not what I asked you. Yes or no. Natalie know what she doing. She got the right kind of attorneys, I guess. But yes, LVP.
Level, I'm asking, can this type of insulin still be active in Michael Cochran's body 12 hours and 23 minutes later?
It's unlikely.
Okay.
I like her too, though.
So the subsequent tests, well, let me go on. February 7th, 2019, 12:28 a.m. We don't know the blood glucose level. It's now 12 hours and 28 minutes. Is it still your testimony that the insulin is unlikely to be active in Michael's body at this time?
If only one injection were given at that time, yes.
Okay. Now, the next entry is February 7th of 2019. It's 12:33 a.m. Now, Michael's blood glucose is on the rise. It's going up. It's all the way up to 63, 12 hours and 33 minutes later. Now, isn't it true that if there was a single injection and given this level, the insulin's no longer active?
Likely that it's not a single injection, and
Okay.
the blood sugar is not low now.
That's all I asked you.
Okay, so I have other questions too. We're gonna let her finish, let them finish. But Michael, at some point, was on hospice after this, right? Y'all know hospice. Y'all know what hospice is. So was he still at home on the couch at this point when they got these measurements? Or did they finally go ahead and take him to the hospital and he was there and the blood sugar, came up? They gave him something. I need to know. I probably should have read up a little bit more on the case, but I'm learning we watching this all together. But where was he at when the blood sugar started to come back up from 21? Was it 21 at the house? And why were they measuring it at the house? You can't just, I need more information. I'll look at it. Y'all tell me if y'all know it in the chat. Because some of it I don't know. A lot of it I don't know.
Next
Details.
entry, February 7th, 1:55 a.m. Blood glucose is on the rise. It's all the way up to 80, 13 hours and 55 minutes. The Lispro insulin's not active anymore, right?
Correct.
Okay. February 7th, 2:17 a.m. Now his blood glucose is all the way up to 187, 14 hours and 17 minutes later. Lispro insulin, not active, cannot cause that reaction, correct?
Well, high blood sugar would be caused by insulin anyway, but yes.
And we don't know what time. They're doing things to try and raise Michael Cochran's glucose level. They gave him an injection of dextrose D50 at the emergency room.
Sure.
That is an attempt to raise his blood glucose levels. Correct?
Okay, so now he's at the emergency room.
Yes.
Right. And it's taking effect. It's working. His blood glucose levels are going up, right?
Yes.
Okay. February 7th, 5:13 a.m. His blood glucose now drops all the way down to 44. 17 hours and 13 minutes later. How do you account for that?
Well, that one could be an outlier because that one was done by finger stick, not by blood, by finger prick. And per
Which
my
one more
review of the
accurate?
records, I didn't see that anything was done in response to that. And then the next one, shortly
What?
thereafter.
I just asked you. Your
She's trying to answer
explanation.
the question, Mr. Selden. Let her go ahead.
Okay.
You may continue, Ms. Dr. Gregory.
Thank you. What I was saying is that the finger stick at 44, according to my review of the record, did not receive any action. So there was nothing given in response to that. And a short time later, the sugar was normal again. So I don't really know if that has much meaning.
Okay. But you can say, since it's 17 hours and 13 minutes after the alleged injection of insulin, that insulin is not working in Michael's body at this time, correct?
His own insulin is likely working, but an injection given at noon would not likely be working.
Okay, I'm just asking about the single injection given at noon.
He probably was going into organ failure. That's how he ended up on hospice. Because it's like it was at 21, then it shot up to 187, then it's back down to 44. They probably had organ failure.
On February 6th. That's all these questions are directed at. Okay?
Yes.
All right. At 6:22 a.m. on February 7th, his insulin's on the rise again. It's up to 95, and that's within normal range according to your testimony. Isn't that right?
Yes, it's not insulin, glucose, but
Glucose, sorry. Okay. 18 hours, 27 minutes later, insulin not active in his body, correct?
Yes, and that's a new
Okay.
injection, yes.
Now, I'm not going to go through the other entries. I'm sure the jury appreciates that. But Michael's blood glucose levels are back on the rise, and now they're all the way up into at least normal range, and there's no activity or effect from a single injection of Humalog Lispro insulin alleged to have been given at approximately noon on February 6th. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we're done with that exhibit for now.
All right, I'll ask the bailiff to collect the.
Okay, I think
copy.
he ended up on a good note. I think he ended that part on a good note. He pretty much said if Natalie gave him one injection of insulin, regardless of how much she gave him at the house, you know, and he eventually went to the emergency room 12 hours, 20 hours, however many hours later, he had a chance for them. They corrected it in the ER, right? But then it went back down. Okay, still. Okay, but he's saying like if Natalie gave him one shot of insulin, that wasn't the thing that killed him. Okay. It's kind of annoying to listen to it going through, but I think, I think he did all right. He ended up all right. Told y'all Natalie was running it.
All right.
Now,
Is the judge laying back?
in your review of all of the records and everything you reviewed in this case, it has been alleged that Michael Cochran was using undeclared supplements or substances or other medications, and because it's not clearly in the records, you wouldn't have any idea what he was taking or its effects on his body. Wouldn't that be a fair statement?
Yes.
You state in your report in the conclusions, in summary, that Michael Cochran's, quote, hypoglycemia due to insulin administration is a strong possibility. So from that statement, you cannot say that insulin was the one and only factor that caused Michael Cochran's hypoglycemia. Isn't that correct?
It's the only credible explanation since none of the other explanations work.
I didn't ask you if it was credible. I said you cannot say it's the one and only. You're only stating it's a strong possibility, correct?
Yes.
Okay. To what degree of medical certainty is a strong possibility? What is that?
That's not quantified.
Okay.
Quantifiable.
I believe that's all the questions I have at this time. Thank you.
All right.
All right, redirect Mr. Truman.
Thank you, Your Honor. Doctor, this started off some time ago by asking who is paying you to be here today. and you responded that the state. Would the fact that the state's paying you cause you to alter your testimony or your opinions in any manner?
No.
Defendant's 10. Dr. Defendant's exhibit number 10, which was a document emailed to you while we were on a break, that's based on some assumptions that there was a single dose at noon. There is nothing in Stage 10 that would eliminate the possibility of multiple injections of insulin, is there?
Objection, Your
Ooh.
Honor, that's not the facts and evidence.
Overruled.
You can answer, doctor, please.
Yes, it's very likely that there was another injection or another type of insulin in addition or to the Lispro.
There was some discussion about benzodiazepines and Michael Cochran.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything in the records that would cause you to believe that that would be responsible for his low blood glucose level?
No, and in fact, an allergy to a benzodiazepine was noted in his record. When we have a patient who has an allergy to one benzodiazepine, we caution them not to have others.
Right.
So I don't know how to reconcile all of that, what the allergy was about, and
Oh.
whether he would have why he would have taken that medication.
Oh, good point.
One theory presented to you by the defense was that it might have, his blood glucose level may have dropped because of a drug overdose. Is there any evidence whatsoever that Michael Cochran overdosed on any drug other than insulin?
Who?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There was also the matter of the high white blood count.
Right, bless it. Okay.
And you started to address that issue and you were stopped. So let me give you the opportunity to explain the treatment and the end result of the high white blood count.
Yes. While it is true that we see a high white blood cell count with infection, it's not the only cause. When blood sugar goes extremely low, other hormones rise, and those hormones, particularly cortisol, will cause white blood cells to look high. We see this a lot in patients who have excess cortisol for other reasons, and that's a possible explanation. Since there was no evidence for infection, he didn't have a fever, he didn't have a low blood pressure. I'm talking about enormous infection that would cause a low blood sugar. Fever, no low blood pressure, no evidence of infection on exam, and a negative blood culture after the single dose of antibiotic that would not have tamed a rip-roaring infection bad enough to cause a low blood sugar.
You got him.
How would you expect a non-diabetic person to physically react if they were given insulin?
They
What would kind of symptoms would
it'll
you
drop
expect
down
to see?
like he.
There's a cascade of events that occur. As the sugar begins to drop, people feel sweaty, shaky, they can have pounding in their chest, palpitations, we call it. We can have, people then can proceed to seizure, to coma, which is from the brain cell edema that we've talked about. So that's the cascade from hunger, shakiness, sweating, pounding in the chest, to seizure, coma.
Did she do it, y'all?
You had indicated that 55 was the number you considered to be a low blood glucose. Can you expand on that a little bit, please?
Yes, and the testing we do when we are trying to figure out why someone has a low blood sugar, and we can't explain it yet, we use 55 as the cutoff, and we don't do the extra testing until the blood sugar is less than 55. When there are symptoms, less than 45. when there are no symptoms. So 55 is our cutoff for the testing.
When Michael Cochran went to Raleigh General and his blood glucose was measured at 21, and this may be out of your field, and if so, just say so, but had the damage already been done by that time?
Well, the brain edema had already started, yes.
That sounds like
That's all the
organ
questions.
failure.
Thank you.
Recross, Mr. Selden.
Need to approach the bench.
All right.
She going up to the bench? Who all going up to the bench? I'm telling y'all, let me go past this. Natalie is running the show, okay, guys? Natalie is in charge. Natalie. She's something else.
Numerous witnesses, sometime around.
I'm telling y'all. Natalie say. I tell y'all, y'all never. And Alan say, Nastasha say.
All right. Further questions, Mr. Selden?
Thank you, Your Honor. There has been testimony throughout this trial that Natalie Cochran allegedly injected Michael Cochran sometime around noon when he collapsed. Then there were people constantly checking. There were people constantly in and out of the house, numerous witnesses, people coming over, staying with Natalie, checking on Michael. So, and then Michael goes into the hospital at approximately 8 p.m. And he's in the hospital from February 6th of 2019 through and including February 10th or 11th when he goes to the hospice and passes away.
Dang.
When would there be an opportunity for Natalie Cochran to inject him multiple times, given those facts?
Objection. That's beyond the scope of an endocrinologist.
That's a good question to kind of
Okay.
just throw out there, though. Natalie doing an OJ. She's like, if I did it, if he supposedly got multiple injections, allegedly, when did I give him the next one? As if all these people was in and out the house. When?
From a scientific point, based on the records which note Michael's glucose levels, etc., when would additional injections occur to have the result of altering blood glucose levels, etc.?
Maybe
We went all through that chart of the extensive testing and recording of his blood glucose levels from approximately 8 p.m. on February 6th through his stay at the hospital. Scientific evidence, when would an injection of insulin have occurred to have those results?
He should say, when should it have occurred?
You're asking me to speculate.
I'm not asking you to speculate.
He should say, what's the window? Like if we tell y'all every 8 hours or with meals, 3 times a day, he should say, when should the second dose have occurred? If there was a second dose, is this something that if it's long acting or short acting, is it 6 hours? Is it 8 hours? If for it to take the effect that they're alleging, should she have given that second dose by the time he was on his way to the hospital? Or did she give him a dose early that morning and then give him the second dose by the time she started calling everybody to come over there and check on him? He should say, what's the interval? If if injecting insulin into a diabetic person per se. That's how he should have asked like that.
I'm asking you,
I think.
given the scientific medical evidence of blood glucose levels, February 6th through his stay, like every 15 minutes, every half hour.
There you go.
When would those scientific information show another injection of insulin?
Well, we really have to explain the 21, because the other one, there's only one low, and that's a finger stick that wasn't treated and normalized without treatment. So it's really explaining the 21.
Okay, and the 21 was recorded initially or stated initially by a supposed witness, Ms. Hamilton. She's the one that said it was 21 when Michael was admitted to the hospital approximately 8 p.m.
Who is
Do you
Miss?
recall that?
Okay, so Miss Hamilton is a physician assistant who's also a friend of the family, who also Natalie allegedly stole about $15,000 to $20,000 from. She also said, if I remember correctly, during her testimony, that she didn't actually see the numbers. That again, Natalie told her that that's what it was. Okay.
Wait a minute.
You know, that was the
Wait,
blood.
objection.
Just wait a minute, doctor. Go ahead, Mr.
That
Truman.
wasn't the testimony. That came from Raleigh General 21, not.
Oh, okay, came from Raleigh General.
This is a
Okay.
misleading question.
I'll withdraw it and I'll stand corrected.
Because I'm like, if Miss Hamilton said
The
that,
21 was when he was admitted to Raleigh General Hospital, approximately 8 p.m. When would Natalie Cochran have an opportunity to inject him to cause that decrease in glucose?
she said that. We need to know
Again,
before.
I would have to speculate, but sometime later in that afternoon.
Or before he went to the hospital. The 21 was when he got there, right?
The prosecutor asked you on redirect about the white blood cell count.
We need to nail down a timeline, the
And the
sequence of
simple
events.
explanation of that is we don't know the cause of the extreme elevation of the white blood cells. Isn't that correct?
No, there are certainly hypotheses that can be rendered, including.
But we don't, just a moment, we don't actually know. There weren't any definitive tests that would account for the elevated white blood cell count. Correct.
Yes.
Just a moment, Your Honor.
Very well.
I don't have any more questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Truman, anything further?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
Very well. Is there any reason to hold this witness at all?
Not so far as.
Sir, can you please state and spell your full name for the record?
Yes, my name is Earl Gleam. First name is spelled E-A-R-L. Last name is Gleam, G-L-I-E-M.
And how are you currently employed?
I am a physical scientist, forensic examiner, working in the Firearms and Toolmarks Unit of the FBI laboratory located in Quantico, Virginia.
They got all
Where did you attend
the
school?
FBI.
I attended school at West Virginia University. I received a Bachelor's of Science degree in Forensic and Investigative Sciences there.
Ooh.
And more recently, I've completed a Master's of Science at the University of Florida in Pharmaceutical Science with a concentration in Forensic Sciences.
Okay. I should.
What sort of professional
that makes
training do
sense.
you have?
So as an examiner, as a physical scientist forensic examiner at the FBI laboratory, before we are qualified to perform independent casework, we go through a training program at the laboratory to ensure that we have all of the proper educational requirements and skills to perform the tasks, excuse me. So when I first started at the Firearms and Toolmarks unit, I went through the forensic examiner training program within that unit, which included required readings, exercises,
Practical.
simulated casework, and working under, doing casework under the supervision of a qualified examiner, as well as completing numerous tests before I was qualified to perform independent casework.
Do you have any work experience in this field prior to your current position at the FBI?
Okay.
So before becoming a physical scientist forensic examiner in the Firearms and Toolmarks unit, I worked as a forensic examiner in the latent print operations unit. And I worked there for approximately 4 years before coming to the Firearms and Toolmarks unit. And I've been with the Firearms and Toolmarks unit for about 9 years now.
Have you given any presentations in your field?
Yes, I have. I've given several case presentations about some of the cases that I've worked in my time as a forensic examiner there. I've also given numerous tours and presentations to groups about the FBI laboratory and our unit as a whole.
And are you a member of any professional organizations or anything like that?
No, I am not.
Okay. Have you ever been qualified as an expert witness in a criminal court?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever been denied qualification as an expert witness in a criminal court?
No, I have not.
Your Honor, subject to cross-examination by the defense, I would move that this witness be treated as an expert pursuant to Rule 702.
All right, Mr. Selden, do you wish to engage in voir dire pertaining to this witness's qualifications?
One moment, Your Honor.
Sure.
Yes, Your Honor, I have a couple questions.
Go ahead.
What exactly are you being qualified as an expert in? What is your represented area of expertise?
So in the Firearms and Toolmarks unit, my main job duties include the examination of tools and firearms, as well as the items that those tools and firearms come into contact with. I examine both the tools and firearms, determine makes and models, as well as the types of actions that they can produce, as well as if any microscopic marks of value are present on the surfaces that they come into contact with. I can then do examinations on those marks to determine whether or not those marks were originated from a particular tool or not.
So what you're saying in summary is that you are an alleged expert in the external examination of these objects. Does that be a fair assumption or statement?
Could you explain what you mean by external?
You don't take the contents of, for instance, the vials out. You don't do any chemical analysis. You're talking about how the vial looks from an external view and a microscopic examination of the outside of these objects.
With an object like that, yes. I do not do any chemical examination.
Okay.
No objection. Accepted.
All right, the court declares this witness to be an expert within his described field.
Oh,
of
physical
forensic
chemistry.
Examinations. You may
Physical
continue,
science,
Ms.
okay. So I was like, what's the difference between?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, I'd like to have marked what I am holding as State's Exhibit 19.
Yes, no, yes. Sorry. This is State's Exhibit number 19, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And this has been shown to the defense, Your Honor.
Very well.
Your Honor, permission to approach the witness?
Yes, you may.
Mr. Gleam, I've handed you what is labeled labeled as Laboratory Division Supporting Documentation Envelope. Can you look over that and advise the court if that is the report that you prepared in this matter?
States Exhibit 19 is a copy of all of the material that I produced as part of this case, to include the report, my case notes, as well as some additional documentation as well.
I wonder.
And what items did you review in this case?
I reviewed, excuse me. Well, there's two different designations that we use for them. In the laboratory, we assigned them item 2 and item 4. At the field office level, when they were first received by the field office, which was Pittsburgh in this case, they gave them the designators 1B1 and 1B2.
And I'm going to hand you what has been marked and entered as States Exhibit 10 and States Exhibit 14. Could you please open those and identify them for me?
Do I need gloves to handle them?
We have some gloves, Deputy Fry. Hold on and
Thank you.
we'll get some.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do we have to wait on them to send gloves?
Sorry, what was your original question?
Could you identify those items for me?
So,
He tore the gloves up.
so States Exhibit 10 is a vial.
This is crazy.
And did you examine that vial?
So I don't see my marking specifically on it. However, most of it is covered with the States Exhibit sticker. It does appear very consistent with my photograph of the item 2 vial that I examined in the laboratory.
And when you refer to that photograph, I'm going to try to fix this. I know this is hard to see. I'll make this a bigger one. Trying to make this as visible as I can for everyone in the room.
Are we talking about item number 2, which was later marked as item number IB-1? Is that what we are talking about?
That's my understanding of what we're talking about, yes.
Yes. Thank you.
The last question, what does the lack of any puncture in the septum of this bottle indicate to you?
It indicates that it was not forcibly contacted by any other object to obtain the contents inside of it.
What is his ankle they keep
Now,
showing?
could you please identify States Exhibit 14?
Did I do that? Oh my God.
No,
Take the call.
Thank you.
What's happening?
One defect in the center of
I don't know. We
the
caught
rubber
up.
stopper that was consistent with a puncture mark that penetrated through the entire rubber stopper of the valve.
And has anything come to your attention since conducting your original testing on both States Exhibit 10 and States Exhibit 14 that would lead you to change any of your conclusions at this time?
No.
I have no further questions, Your Honor, and I would move States 19 into evidence.
What was
Any
that
objection,
anyway?
Mr.
I
Selden?
guess I should have waited.
No objection, no.
States exhibit number 19 will be admitted into evidence. You may cross-examine Mr. Selden.
Sorry, Your Honor, I need to get my copy of the report.
Okay.
He was kind of getting on my nerves at first. He growing on me now.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Stanley Selden. I'm co-counsel for the defendant, Natalie Cochran. Welcome to the courtroom.
Morning. Afternoon.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Gleam.
Gleam. Okay. As Gleam, even though that's not the spelling.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's like, is he trying to be annoying? Because it's working on me.
Excuse me, just a moment, Your Honor. I need to collect my thoughts on this.
Excuse me just a moment, Your Honor. Ah! Thank you! Nina! Yes, thank you so much, y'all. This is you on my research team. Y'all know her. Y'all know her. Nina Simone hit me with the super sticker. You usually don't be giving them out like that. Thank you, buddy. Okay, so y'all know I've been on YouTube. I've been on here for a minute. Let me go and bring myself up for this. This is my first super chat, super sticker. I be on and off YouTube. I really, appreciate it because y'all know I have not been consistent. I've been having other stuff I've been dealing with. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. She said, proud of you. Thank you. I stuck with it. Every now and then I try to do right. But y'all, when y'all come on here and y'all do this, it made me want to keep doing it. Because I be acting like I'm going to stop all the time. Like, I'm not going to do it today. I don't feel like doing it today. I felt like I need to go ahead and get on here this morning. I'm glad I did, Nina. This is my first super chat since it's been monetized. I've been looking at that thing. I'm like, should I turn this monetization on? Because I got some other stuff going on. Big brother be watching. They be, I ain't saying it's tax time or nothing like that. We got to file these taxes. But y'all know. So thank you so much, Nina Simone, and everybody else that's been supporting the channel. Y'all, really been holding your girl down. Y'all know I love y'all. Thank you, RPG. Thank you, Nina Simone. Thank you. I need to figure out how to put you in the banner. Let me go get the show back started. I ain't gonna cry because I don't cry like that unless it gotta be something real bad. And it's something real good. So thank you so much, Nina. Thank you. And everybody else that been supporting the channel. I'm gonna try to keep it up. I'll try to keep it up. I like it when y'all be proud of me like that. We need a little bit of encouragement, and I'll give y'all a little bit too. So let's watch Natalie, my colleague. She on here. She didn't kill her husband over money, but thank y'all for giving me some. I appreciate it. Thank you, Nina, again. Thank you. Y'all appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm gonna leave this up here because I don't really know how to make the banner during the stream quite yet. Yes, I do. Stop saying yes, I do. But we're gonna go ahead and get back into the trial. But Nina, thank you so much, girl. Thank you.
It was a little confusing.
We
some of
up
the
on a,
testimony.
it's today Tuesday?
All right, Mr. Green, as to your report on item number 2, which I believe was state's exhibit number 10. I'm calling your attention to that one, okay?
Yes.
That was a vial that has a large top. And can we have the photographs of that so that we can put them on the viewer?
All right. Who has the photographs?
Photographs are within the report, Your Honor.
Okay.
And hopefully I can get this on the viewer so everyone can see it.
Well, let's hope.
And could I get some assistance in turning this on?
It is. Okay.
Okay, good. There we go. Mr. Gleam, are these the photographs that you took of, and I believe your description included item number 2. Is that correct?
Yes.
You did external examinations of this, and by that I mean you didn't empty out the contents, you didn't analyze the contents. That was done by somebody else, correct?
That's correct.
And you say no punctures or defects were present on the top or bottom of the surfaces of the rubber stopper. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
The metal ring, and I believe you're talking about this right here.
Yes.
You can see that? And that's the metal ring that would have been around here and right here. Is that right?
Correct. I didn't necessarily examine the metal ring because I believe it had been manipulated before it got to me to remove the contents.
So you can't make any conclusions about that because it was manipulated before it got to you.
Correct. I was only asked to examine the rubber stopper inside of the metal ring.
And this rubber stopper had no defects or punctures or anything like that that you could see. Is that right?
Not that I was able to detect.
So right now, this guy, he seems like he's the physical scientist. So instead of examining the liquids in the bottle, like the last forensic guy from the FBI, I wonder if they get all FBI people in West Virginia, because they like by Virginia and, am I thinking Maryland? You know, all these places, I feel like there's a lot of FBI, headquarters over in that area. But anyway, so I think that, so this guy, he doesn't examine he doesn't do the chemistry. He's not saying, is this baby oil in the baby oil bottle, or is it GHB? He's not doing it. He's like, what's the when you buy stuff like baby oil, you have to take the little what do you call those things? I can't even think right now. When you got to remove that you got to take the plastic off it to see if it's like, they the seal. If you remove the seal, That's what he does. He's like, was the seal removed when you got it? Like, was it opened already? Because you know, if you buy something out the store and the seal is not on, and you like, I need to bring this back because you don't know it's been tampered with or not. So he examined the stopper on the valves. He examined this guy. He does the physical part of it, like, you know, not any chemistry, not any mass spectrometry, none of that. He's just like looking at it. Was there a puncture in the valve? Like, you know, when you got to use a syringe to stick a hole and then, you know, draw up the contents out with. Was it already punctured or was the seal intact? That's the kind of questions he's answering. Okay. Back to the stream.
Do you know what substances were represented to be in this vial by other testers?
No, I don't.
Again, he's kind of asking the wrong questions to this person. These are the questions he should have asked the last forensic chemist, not the forensic physical scientist. Okay? The guy that he talked to Friday, he should have been asking him these questions about what's inside.
Let's look at this item, which is listed as item number 4.
Is that an
So
overhead
these are
projector?
photographs taken by you of this item, correct?
I didn't think they were still using like an overhead projector, like with slides and stuff like that. I guess it's kind of a new school one, but not really. I guess.
Now, you said in examination of this item that you believe, and this item seems to indicate right here, this is Humalog insulin. Would you agree with that label?
Okay, let me say something else. So last week he was asking the forensic chemist about if the vials were full or not to the top, you know, trying to insinuate that something had been used, that the solution had been used, right? Those are his questions. That's what he's like, okay, you know, was it a puncture? Was it, you know, was the volume, you know, whatever? Those are questions he should be asking this guy. But now he asking this guy, you know, what's inside it? But does the label match the solution? He got him confused. We'll keep listening because he confuses me. And then he kind of make, you know, come full circle and it makes a little bit more sense. His questioning, he's like, okay, maybe he don't know what he's talking about, but then maybe he does. And he's just pretending. Who even knows? He's just throwing out, you know, things for the jury to hear because they don't know. They not really, you know, they just got to use what they hear in court, right? I never been on jury, dude. I keep telling y'all that they probably never gonna choose me anyway because I'm like, no, I'm biased. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna say, but right now, I think he just kind of throwing stuff out there. What they say, throwing pasta against the wall, see what sticks. That's what I think he's doing. Y'all let me know in the chat.
Yes, that is how it was labeled.
Now, you say that upon examination, you believe that there was a puncture in the rubber piece right here.
It is.
Correct?
We lost the feed.
Yes, I believe you lost it on the top there.
Somebody help him.
I may have touched the button.
Repeat the question, please.
Yes. this indication right here with this circle that I believe you put on the photograph, right?
Yes, the dashed circle as well as that arrow to like kind of the top right were indicators put on the photograph by me, to just give further clarification on the notes.
So from your examination, you believe that was a puncture in the rubber stopper, right?
Yes, that's correct.
It is. I can see it.
You cannot tell if this was a single puncture or if there might have been, no, I'm going to scratch that. You cannot tell when this alleged puncture mark was made, correct?
No, I cannot.
Lieutenant Bledsoe, who gathered this item from, I believe it was 211 4H Lake Road, says that when he retrieved this item, it was full and unopened.
Objection, Your Honor. I don't believe that's ever been stated. Lieutenant Bledsoe has not even testified yet.
If that's true, I must sustain the objection.
Your Honor is laid back.
You can rephrase, Mr. Selby.
Yeah. From a visual examination, you cannot tell if this was opened or not. You're only stating there was a puncture in the top.
Okay, so what he's trying to say right here, he's trying to tell us that he's alleging that, well, this guy can't answer this question. It's a puncture mark in it right now, right? Which means it was used, or that somebody stuck a needle in. I don't know if they took some out or put some in. He's saying that the detective, whoever collected the items from the scene, said this vial was unopened and unused. It was full to the top. First of all, I already told y'all in the last stream, it's not going to be full to the top because that's just not how things come. Not all the way up to the rim. No, can't use them like that. So he's saying if when the detective got the vial, if it wasn't open, why does it have this mark right now? Wait, wrong button. Why would it have a puncture in it? Okay, it could be because the forensic dude had to go, stick it, draw out the contents, and test them out, right? Or somebody, I don't know, or maybe it wasn't unused when he got it. Now, I'm saying this. We need to know the order which these guys, you got the evidence, right? We need to know if the chemistry guy got it first or if the physical scientist guy got it first. Because if it came to the physical scientist guy before the chemistry dude got it, then the puncture was already in it when the chemistry guy got it, right? To examine it. We need to know the chain of custody from when they collected it, then they go sit at the police station, and then they send it out to the lab. We don't know. We trying to create some reasonable doubt because it's like, it's a puncture wound in there. We can see it. We see it. Can't y'all see it? I see it. Not puncture wound, there's a puncture. Who did it? If that's the case, who did it?
Yes, I only observed I only examined the rubber stopper, and this is the result of my examination.
This is also like when I tell y'all can't bring this stuff back to the pharmacy. If we didn't make an error on it, and I tell y'all be like, well, I didn't even open the bag. I didn't even touch it. We don't know what you did. We don't know what you did. And because we don't know, Because people got way. I mean, it could be a puncture wound in it, puncture in it some kind of way that we don't know. Y'all people know how to forge and do all kinds of, crazy stuff that we don't know about. So that's why we can't take it back. When y'all, I'm just saying. So, but he's just saying, I see there's a hole in the stopper.
And from your examination, you can't tell who made this puncture mark, correct?
No.
No, I cannot.
You did a visual examination of the bottle, et cetera. Were there any fingerprints on the bottle?
I did not examine the bottle for fingerprints.
Okay. Can y'all tell, like, when y'all hear these questions, how does it sound to y'all? Because I know what it sounds like to me, because I'm thinking like as myself as a pharmacist, not like myself as a person outside pharmacy. But, how does it sound to y'all? When y'all hear these questions, it's like, well, he didn't examine it for fingerprints. Are y'all thinking he shouldn't be? That's not his job. Or are y'all thinking, well, why didn't he examine it for fingerprints? Like, what are y'all thinking when y'all hear these questions? Because it's like, okay, well, to me, it's like, that's not his job. Somebody else does that. So this question is kind of like, why are we asking this question? What do y'all think?
A moment, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
You gotta huddle back up again. Let what's her name? Let Natalie tell him what to say.
And also, in addition to those questions, not only can you not tell who made the puncture mark, but you can't tell when it was made, correct?
No, I cannot.
One moment, Your Honor, I need to confer.
All right.
They stay confirmed. Shout out to accountability. Say PPP got started early today. She got that new president energy. He signed 100 executive orders or something yesterday. We're going to see. Okay. It says also, hashtag board game clue. Okay. We trying to figure it out. I don't know if I shouted you out, RPG. You always welcome in, family of the chat of the stream. Okay, let's go. Let's see. Still huddled up.
It's methylprednisone.
Methylprednisolone.
And you believe, based on your examination, that this one was manipulated, correct?
Well, I don't have all of the documents from the other units of the laboratory, but I believe it did go to other units of the laboratory before I received it.
Okay, that's what I asked for y'all. Look. I need to be on the show. I need to be on there. They need to call me up as an expert. They don't call me up as an expert because, sometimes I can't get a little unruly. I get emotional, in a good and bad way sometimes. But shit, it's entertaining. It's boring to me if it's not. Okay, so yes, that's what I see. I was like, it depends on who got it first. Y'all know I ain't see this. It's live right now. Well, we're a few minutes behind the stream, the real live stream. But y'all know I haven't seen this. I was like, it depends on who got it first. Did it go to this person first and then come here? So to be like it was manipulated, it's kind of like, hey, manipulated is a strong word. It feels, dirty when you say it, like it was manipulated. But it's like manipulated feels like tamper. It feels like it's negative. But it's like, okay, can you tell who did this? No, you can't tell who did this. But it also went to the chemistry lab before it came to my lab for me to make a physical examination, which if they did it like that, they need to change the order of the procedure. Okay, standard operating procedure needs to be the standard operating procedure. This is my recommendation to the FBI. I'm making recommendations to the FBI out here because this, how confident I am in what I'm saying right now. They need to send it. The physical exam needs to go on before we, examine the contents inside of whatever it is. Okay, we need to do a physical first because you're gonna have to do some kind of manipulation to get inside to test what's inside. So let's do the physical first, and then send it on to the next station. Okay, they welcome. Go ahead and add that to the procedure book. Okay.
Remove that ring to access the contents as possible.
See? So they really, if they did that, they messed up the evidence, to be honest.
Item number
In my
4.
opinion.
From a visual examination of this bottle, can you tell if it's full of liquid or not?
No, not from here. I
I
can't see.
believe it was empty when I received it.
Oh, y'all, they messed up.
So
Now
how
they're
do you
finna get off
believe
on
the
technicality.
contents were removed?
He doesn't know.
I don't have any information on that.
Oh, even though the volume would be something that, nobody looked at the, nobody looked at the volume. It should be 10 ml. Okay, so the other day I said it wasn't important, but it kind of is, because it should be 10 milliliters, right? Whether that looks like it's full to the top or not. If anybody would have measured it, because the chemistry guy didn't get the volume either, nor the physical science guy, because if it was 3 ml that was in a 10 ml vial, not that that proves anything, then we just would that'll be just another idea to throw out there for the jury to hear. Like it was only, it was 3 milliliters used up, so there was 7 mils left. Could it be possible that she gave him a 3 ml dose, which would be 300 units? Oh man, I told y'all need to listen to me. I be doing my best work in the morning. I can think all kinds of stuff in the morning time. Natalie, that's how we can kind of come to a conclusion, speculate, to a certain extent of how much, if she gave him a certain amount of the dose, how much she could have given him if this is what was in the bottle. That was,
I need to confer with counsel one more time, and I think I'm wise.
See, if they would have had this kind of conversation last night, he would know how to ask his questions today. Natalie ain't using her skills.
Okay.
She over there trying to do PONZI scheme. She should be doing the pharmacy stuff. She need to use those skills. She plotting something though. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like,
Now, according to your report,
Dave Chappelle said on the SNL the other night, he was like, look at his face. He said he ain't ugly. He's not really ugly, but he give off snitch vibes. Natalie give off I'm scheming vibes.
items number 2 and items number 4 were found approximately 4 to 5 months after Michael Cochran's death on February 11th of 2019. Is that correct?
I'm not aware of when they were recovered. Well, could you repeat the question, please?
Sure. There are various documents appended to your report, which you reviewed. It's part of your report. From that description, do you believe this item was seized by police or other authorities approximately 4 months after Michael Cochran's death on February 11th of 2019?
I don't have any awareness of the collection of this item of evidence. I can only speak to when it was received into the FBI laboratory and when I worked it in the laboratory. And that's all I can say about the custody of that item.
Okay, I'm going to hand you this report back. I have a few more questions. So looking at that report, when were these two items, number 2 and 4, received in your laboratory?
This is just a side comment. Why man won't like? It's a whole box of gloves. He ripped the one he got on his right hand. Why won't he just put on a new set? Like just put on another glove. Take that off. That's so annoying.
So to best answer your question, this evidence, I don't have the full chain of custody printouts
did.
for each of these items
My
present
bad.
in my notes printouts. That's information that's typically part of the evidence management unit package that is created for these items that kind of covers the whole lifespan of the whole chain of custody of the movement of the items through the entire laboratory.
Right.
My-
And I'm not asking you about all that. I just want to know when these two items came into the FBI laboratory in Quantico, Virginia, as far as your investigation.
So the initial communication from the field office about this request for laboratory examinations was initiated on February 9th, 2021.
Okay.
Um,
And so it can be assumed that came into Quantico about February of 2021.
Yes, approximately. So the communication was initiated on February 9th, and
That-
then the initial notes done by the evidence management unit were created on February 10th of 2021.
Okay. So Michael Cochran passed away February 11th of 2019, and this crucial evidence has come into your lab 2 years later.
What?
Is that what you're saying?
Those are the dates that
Okay, so somebody need to tell me. So, okay, first of all, he should have asked the expiration questions. You know, they need to watch my channel. First of all. Second of all, when they get the evidence, they don't like send it where it needs to go. Like when they get it, I don't know police work. I'm doing pharmacy, and it's look like I'm trying to get out of that. They don't send that stuff in right away. I mean, to the labs and all that. 2 years later, though, that's a bit extreme, don't y'all think? My guy, he got the long way of getting somewhere, the attorney, but it's some stuff he throwing out there that I'm like, Bert? 2 years later, what you mean? Okay. Two. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all.
July 30th of 2021, and you completed your report January 31st of 2022. Isn't that right?
RPG say, what? 2 years? That's all? Sign me up. Sign me up for the crimes. They ain't gonna check the evidence till 2 years later anyway. In West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. 2 years?
Yes, that appears correct.
2 years later.
Almost 4 years after Michael Cochran's death.
What? What? What?
If his death occurred February 11th of 2019.
I'm not familiar with the specifics of the case, but if his death occurred in 2019, I completed my exams in 2022, that would be 3 years.
Okay. Thank you.
Wow.
Redirect Ms. Akron.
Yeah, okay, straighten this out, Ms. Akron. Because right now,
Mr. Gleam, through your investigation of State's Exhibit 14, the bottle that is labeled Humalog, I believe also identified as item 4. Is it true that you were unable to determine how many times an object had passed through the puncture you identified?
Objection as to the form of the question is leading.
I'll rephrase, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
Were you able to determine how many times any item had passed through that puncture?
No, I was not.
No further questions, Your Honor.
okay, that wasn't a good comeback though. Because if you, I mean, sometimes we try to stick it in the same hole. Cause the needle's something, if or you just need to go get another needle, you get another syringe, because it's like you don't want to be like poking anybody with a dull needle because you have to put it through the rubber stopper so many times. I feel like that's a pause. But y'all know what I'm saying? And you can't tell, he couldn't tell if he's a physical scientist. He can't tell if you put it in the same hole that you made the first time, it ain't gonna make another puncture, and it's not gonna look, you ain't gonna know how many times you use the same hole. I mean, what did that prove? Let me get you up here, RPG. I'm talking crazy sometimes.
Anything further, Mr. Selden?
No, Your Honor.
All right, may this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may
All
step
right.
down, Mr. Gleam. You
Thank
are
you.
excused.
Thank you.
Make sure you leave all the exhibits here, please,
Yes, sir.
and our gloves.
Yes, sir. I broke more than I used.
That's all right. We won't charge you. Members of the jury, we'll take our lunch break now. Please
Oh,
do
they on
not
lunch?
expose yourselves to any reports online, on the radio, or on TV concerning this case. Obviously, you see cameras in the courtroom. You know that this case is being filmed. Again, I want you to make an independent decision at the close of all the evidence. Please enjoy your lunch. I'll give you a little bit of extra time on your lunch break because we're getting a little late start. I'll need you back in your jury room a little bit before 1:15, please, and we'll start back up promptly. Technology allowing. You may follow the bailiff to your jury room.
All right, y'all. We got through the first half of the morning. So I would love to hear what y'all have to say in the chat so far. I'm gonna take a break too, because y'all know I be having stuff to do during the daytime. I told y'all that. Now, I did a recap of what's going on at the beginning of this video. I might come back later on because I'm gonna have to leave because I do have some things I need to do. I do have, my roommate is at home. She doesn't have school today. So we got some things we need to do. And we'll see. We're gonna see. Anyway, y'all, I got my first super chat. What do you call this? Super sticker. bitty big ones. I appreciate that. I appreciate anything y'all do for me. Y'all watching, you know, y'all could be anywhere else. And I know people got other stuff they need to be doing. But you give me your time, and I appreciate that. Always, always. So, y'all know it's LOVEYOU. It's still there during the daytime. I love y'all in the morning, noon, and night. Okay? Okay? So, yeah, you know how people be like, you know, your broke best friend. My best friend ain't broke. I don't know where she get money from. She got money, though. So, she my roommate. That's what I'm gonna call her, you know. She live roommate. That's never. I didn't even know TikTok was down. She didn't even know. She ain't no CapCut. She ain't know none of it. She just like, oh, well, I'm here on it right here. We ain't gonna get into that talk. But yes, yes, that's who that is. Y'all know. Y'all know. If y'all follow me, if y'all continue to follow me, I'm gonna try. We'll see if I'm gonna come back after lunch. If not, get a benediction. What do I always say? I'm gonna let y'all know. I put something out. Y'all know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna try to come back. I ain't never came back 2 times in one day. I've never done that. Maybe today's the day. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, what I always say, thank you, regulators, for showing up and showing out. Okay. And these prescriptions, what they do? They keep piling up. These phones, they never stop ringing. I'm gonna see y'all later on. And I'm going to say good night all day. Good night.